What up? What's up?
What's good? What's good? What's to it?
What up? What up? What up?
Yeah, my man.
Hey, what's going on, man? Got everybody in the house.
Hey, are we inviting people to the YouTube page to watch, or is this streaming on Facebook? Yeah, my
What's
man.
going on, man? What's going on?
Only on
Got
YouTube.
everybody.
Yep.
Okay, let me pull that.
We got 3 watching right now.
Okay, I'm gonna share this YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's about to go down, y'all.
Mm-hmm. This should be good.
Y'all feel it?
Yeah, man.
Feel the heartbeat?
Yeah, all right. So let's get to popping this favor. Somebody just called me. Don't nobody love me. Somebody did just call me. God bless me. I don't recognize the number though. Probably somebody fat. I saved 2 people. All right, so let's get it, man. What's the topic?
So, we got should black women abandon black men? Right now, we got me, Questy Black, the misogynistic simp. You know what I'm saying? We got dirty folks on the mic. We got the Romeo over there, Love Alchemist. We got King Gorilla, Pimp Slack, Pete over there.
Cadillac Matt.
Yeah.
All right, so
what I want to do, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start off with Vaughn. So, should black men abandon black women?
Oh, you flipped the title on me. Should black men abandon black women? That wasn't the title, was it?
nah,
That wasn't the title.
trying to see if you're paying attention.
Yeah, I'm paying attention. But my answer is hell no. Hell no. And it ain't even no 2 ways about it. But you know, that's my short answer. Hell no. You dance with the girl that brung you.
Okay.
Now,
What you gotta say that? What you gotta say to that, Pete?
Oh man. One, I don't know how that girl brought you. You know, you brought yourself. It's number one. And I disagree. I think it's time we detach our loyalty. It has been a hindrance for quote unquote black men because of their loyalty to black women. So men create culture, men create infrastructure, men create countries, rulership, everything. And if you look in the last maybe 50 to 70 years, really 70 years since what it was civil rights that kind of happened, when was that, the 60s? You know, you could see that black men have been constantly focusing their loyalty on black women, and black women have not been loyal to black men. They have defaulted to black men, but they haven't been loyal. And two, let me break that down. A lot of times you just think because a black woman is with a black man and she's necessarily loyal. No, if she doesn't have any options, then by default she's with them. But giving options, she'll go wherever she feels is best suited for her. But because she has nowhere else to go, you know, she makes it seem like she's making a loyal choice, and she's not. She's just taking what she can get. So where unlike black men are more wanted and have more options and can take advantage. And if you can see, when they do, a lot of times they tend to build more, you know. And last but not least, I look at black more as a culture. So not only are you abandoning a woman that represents a toxic culture, you're abandoning the culture of black itself, because I just think black itself is a toxic culture. And that's it. That's, you know, my spiel on that.
You got to reply to that, Vaughn?
Yeah, I think that if you just look at the landscape of relationships, we as black men, we marry out and date out of the black culture at a rate that is what 2-3 times higher than what black women have been doing.
That's because they
So
can't. That's because they wouldn't. Every time they get out the culture, they marry a white woman. They tell you can't marry
I
a
don't
white woman.
I don't know about this can't business. All I have is statistics, right? This is what Pete always drumming is these statistics, right? So it is what it is, and we don't know. We can't necessarily measure every single encounter, so I don't know
We
why
marry
certain.
statistics, then black women are the second least desired behind Asian men. So you do what you can. It's the 80-20 rule. People who can
Who
date
said?
out, do date out. People who can date up, do date up. Women have
How do you
hypergamy.
measure?
Men have $40. It is
How
what
do
it
you
is.
measure desire? How do you measure another man's desire?
Easily. Men aren't that complicated. People desire food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and great company.
And sex,
Okay, you can.
right? Sex.
I don't have to know you to have sex with you. People have sex with strangers the night before their wedding and call it a bachelor party. I don't care about the sex part. They require good companionship.
So when you say desirability, you talking in terms of what? When you say black women are the least desired, what are you measuring that by?
That's measured by the dating sites. I have nothing to do with that because I don't be on Tinder or Plenty of Fish or nothing. But if you look at all the dating sites go categorically by who's the most and least desired, by who's the most and least searched for, and they the second to least searched for on dating sites.
I think that's an important comment that we got right there. Black men haven't been loyal to black women, and I don't see where we've been loyal, man. I don't see it.
How don't you see it? I believe that if black men weren't so loyal, that like 60% of black men to be married. I think the reason that the marriage pool is so low is because men in general are hunters and people hunt in their vicinity. And
Let
normally
me
you hunt around
let
people that
me
look like
let me say it like this.
that's
I
not the
don't think it's
topic though.
black. I don't think that it's just black women that are undesirable. I think it's black people that are the least desirable people on the planet, particularly black men. And I'm not talking about attraction, and I'm not talking about fetish. I'm talking about somebody who's being attracted to us for the purpose of building and establishing something that they see as worthy of having. So if the average non-black female takes the average, I'm not talking about a high value black man. If the average non-black female takes the average black man home to her family, she better have a hell of a story because that's generally
Why?
not.
Why did okay.
They gotta have.
Okay.
eh,
So that totally discounts Hobart, Indiana, all of Iowa, all of Minnesota, uh, the northern part of Wisconsin. When you get toward Green Bay and Appleton, there's a lot of places that that black male, white female relationships are very much a part of the culture and all the baby stage. So I'm not even sure if that's true. I don't. First of all, liberal women don't take anybody home to their parents because they yell and Papa don't preach. But that's still not really true. Because when I went to South Dakota, all I fucked with was white girls. You know why? Because black girls didn't want you in South Dakota, or they would have stayed in Chicago or Detroit or Indiana or wherever they came from. You know what I'm saying? The problem was that when black girls go to South Dakota, they become a fetish for the white boys, and the white guys become a fetish for the white girls. For the black guys become a fetish for the white girls too. But men don't care. Men don't
I
care.
think men don't care as far as sex goes because we'll screw indiscriminately damn near. But at some point, when we're looking for something a little more meaningful, like what we're experiencing today, and we actually start to care, the average, again, man, you're talking about average earning men. If you're going to go with the argument that women are hypergamous by nature, right? And I'm not necessarily convinced on that, but just for the sake of the argument, if you're going to say that women are by nature hypergamous, then they're looking to come up, right? And so you look at how the average non-black person from non-black cultures view black people, they don't see us, particularly black men, as a come up. That's across the board. Are there exceptions to that? Hell yes, it's exceptions to everything. But generally, non-black people do not see black men as a come up. The average black man. I'm
I'll
not
agree
talking
with
about
that.
if you grade it up.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. So then we're not any more quote unquote desirable than our feminine complement.
That's where I disagree.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how you do one, but then the other. But I digress.
I can explain it to you easily. I'll use a college analogy, right? I think most females are toddlers. They all have the emotional maturity of 4-year-olds, right? But when you get to a college stage, there's a transition that women go through, right? Where they find forced maturity. It's forced maturity. So you'll go to college and all these white girls that have all these signs like save the whales, save the planet, save the niggers. They always want to save some shit. All freshman and sophomore year, they trying to save some shit. All while they undergrads, they trying to save some shit. Then they become going toward their bachelor's degree, and they get that phone call saying, yo, student loans, it is what it is, and daddy not gonna sign on if your grades don't get better. Then all of a sudden, nature kicks in, right? And I say all the time, every other type of woman goes to college to find a husband. Black women go so she won't need one. So all of a sudden, the same white girls that was yelling save the whales in basically was 14th grade, now she in 15th to 16th grade. If she can't read, she all in the athletic department trying to fuck a football player. If she can't count, she's in the engineering department trying to help with tutoring. And she's trying to find the potential in a man. Nobody in college has money. They're all eating noodles.
Can I offer one little bit of pushback to that? I don't think black women go to college so that they don't need one. I think black women have grown more accustomed to going to college because they haven't been able to rely on one.
Nobody give a fuck about them University of Phoenix ass degrees. Look, man, they go to college.
I'm not saying that those degrees.
No.
Saying
so you're telling me that education told. Wait, okay. So what you're telling me is education told them not to marry, because they keep saying they're the most educated, but they're least married. So you're telling me that they have more potential too, but they can't. Hold on. Here's what's crazy. White girls will go to college to marry a white boy in college. Black girls will get a degree to come home and marry a felon. Look, they don't even use college right. So the whole thing is there's no correlation. You can tell me that education makes them better spouses. You can't say they can't count on men because they don't want to count on men. They want to control men.
Sure. Can I drop in?
Let me just respond. Okay. Let me just respond. I think you missed my point. I wasn't justifying necessarily that mission of going to college. What I'm saying is it's a coping mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. They're going because oftentimes they have to fend for themselves. That's the reason that you see more black women going to college.
They go to school and get sociology degrees. Nobody give a fuck what they think. They go to get teaching degrees that pay less than their student loans. They not going because they don't have support. And you don't have support while you going to school. And most of them got a kid before they go to school, so they're giving you that support. They go and graduate with a baby on their hip talking about we did it. Let me tell you something, man. These girls is fucking goofy. You can keep trying to tell me that they can't count on men, but they keep doing shit.
I like that comment.
That don't allow them to do such.
I like that comment by Michelle Atkins. That's kind of what I'm saying. He said, "My father sent me to college so I won't have to depend on men, not because we don't need them."
Yeah, but it's kind of an oxymoron, because when you say you if you're talking about having a mate, there is a level of dependency, right? If I want a baby, I have to depend on the woman to have a baby. I can't say, you know what I'm saying, oh, I don't need her to have a baby. So that's the thing. It's kind of a play with words.
Okay, wait. No, Michelle, so answer this. Since you don't have to depend on a man, do you expect a man to pay for anything? Are you a 50-50 chick? Does he have to pay for the first cup of coffee? You don't have to depend on a man. You went to college, you learn how to read. Count to 10 now. Now what? What is a man's purpose to you now that you know how to read and count to 10? You still want to do traditional shit, right? But you want to have a voice, right? So you can say absolutely nothing when you got clothes on. Please explain to me what it is that school helps with. So
I mean, even the notion of the father saying you don't have to depend on a man, he's basically saying so you don't need a man. He just used a different word.
And not only that,
but depend on is no different than need. He just used the word so it doesn't seem like you don't need a man. He's basically saying, I hope you find a man that you could probably control or have control over because you have a
Now you
degree.
added shit. You added
No,
shit.
no, I mean, I'm telling you, look, Biggie said it. I want to give my daughter a college plan so she don't need no man. You know what I'm saying? Depend and need is the same thing,
It
right?
is.
So all it is just one word representing need. That's it. So basically what he's saying, you don't need, which means you don't have to adhere, you don't have to listen to, you
And,
have control.
and that's
So
how
I'm
much.
Why
saying
though?
degree, which makes it difficult for black women. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this: what Oak said earlier about the white girls going to college and all of that stuff. It's true. I heard that originally from black women who went to college. They say that they talk to their white counterparts. Their mothers train them. When you go to college, you got to find whatever boyfriend for a husband. Black women don't teach their daughters, go find you a husband. They like, you need to just get your degree. And Michelle, I know you might think that's not how he felt, but it in a sense it is, because most fathers don't want to give their daughter away.
And most black men hate themselves because there's nowhere in the world I would tell my daughter that she doesn't need a man because I'm a man. I would try to tell her to find a man exactly like that, bring him home. I'll make sure he's straight so he makes sure she's straight. Once
But you
said,
gotta understand.
I ain't gotta understand shit. Look, this is at the end of the day.
Context, man. Context is crucial, bro.
Context is not cool. My niece came. This is a true story. My niece came to me. My niece graduated with her PhD. She came to me like a couple of months after she got that goofy ass degree in psychology or whatever, and she said, "Uncle Oak, when I went and got my doctorate, there was no other black men in the doctor program,
Okay.
and the ones that were, because motherfuckers think everybody's black because they have no concept of ethnicity or culture, but they was really Nigerians and Kenyans." She said the ones that were dated white girls. She said, "Uncle Oak, I just want to find a man with a PhD that drive a BMW, got his credit right, got his life right, got his profession the same way I do. Where can I find my man?" And I said, "Yo, niece, you lost your man in undergrad. Because men don't like school like that. Men don't go to get PhDs unless they're being engineers or something. We don't go to get frivolous ass degrees and get a doctorate in cleaning fish tanks like girls do just to say they have a degree." I said, "You have become the man that you want. Now you want a man to outman you at the man that you became. Meanwhile, the man that you want is going to date the hostess at Hooters because she's feminine."
Mm-hmm.
So now, then my niece was upset with me for a minute. But then my niece found a boyfriend. Dude's doing better in life than me. He started from the bottom, washing cars at this car lot. Bought a couple used cars. They sold them, let them fix them up here, resell them on the street. During the course of 11 years, the same amount of time that she was not even 11 years, because they was around the same age, so maybe 6 or 7 years. The same time she was from her freshman year of college till she got her doctorate, he was working on cars. By the time she met the man, he owned a car lot. He was making about 1.5 million a year, just selling cars. Got his little car lot, he moving. She said, "Uncle Oak, this dude keep trying to buy me stuff, but I got my own money. I don't want to be dependent on no man." Like Michelle said, this was my niece's words. And I said, "So he can't buy you nothing? He can't show you that he like you?" "No, because I got my own. I ain't for sale." I said, "Okay, you fucking him?" "Yeah, but I don't like him because he not tall, dark, and handsome, and he ain't got no degree." I said, "Hold on. He's selling cars making more than niggas that got degrees. He's making more than a doctor.
With no student loans.
With no student. But he ain't educated though. Look, let me tell you something. Black girls are goofy as shit. There's no way in the world you can tell me. All they do is they try to up. That's the hypergamy shit, but they hypergamy is ass backwards because girls is ass. And I love my niece. And I knew it wasn't going to make sense because she had clothes on. But I never see my niece naked, so I know nothing she'll say ever makes sense. But I love her, so I listen. And the more she talked, the dumber it got. We had the same conversation over the course of 6 or 7 months from the time she got her PhD to the time she dated a millionaire that she's no longer dating because she couldn't be a girl for shit. Because just like I told her she wanted to be the man but then date a man that can outman her. All that shit was true. And I kissed my niece or I hugged her or something and I said, "You know what? When you hit 40, and realize I was right, your uncle gonna buy your first cat. So I'm waiting. She got a couple more years. I'm gonna buy her this cat. We're gonna pick it out. We're gonna pick it out.
You gonna go to Petco?
I'm gonna get off the street because you know girls with
I
PhDs
should
love
get an
hood
alley.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
You'll get an alley cat.
Man, she gonna get an alley nigga. I guarantee when she get happy, it's gonna be a felon that can't read. All he do is eat pussy and take out the garbage. Because that's what girls do when they get a degree. That's what they learn. Black girl. Everybody else found out.
We got a lot of we had a lot of ass backwards cultural ways, man. And so with where we are right now and the different practices, the different things that we engage in, like you said, going to college to be self-sufficient rather than like a lot of other women are going to college to find their man, to find their husband. That behavior has origin. That practice has origin. It's not organic. It's not like all of a sudden.
It's not organic. It's traditional because she got it from a goofy ass mama who got it from a goofy ass mama. But the question was, should women? Let's get back to the topic. The question was, should women? What was the topic, Quasi?
The topic is, should black women abandon black men? But he threw Vaughn the curveball and said, "Yo, switched it up." So
yeah,
I want to
hear black thing.
Yeah, black. You ain't say nothing. What you watching back there, man?
Go on.
You talking to me?
Him, he watching Terminator.
You talking to
me? What's up, brother Black? Come on, drop some gems, man.
I mean, it's like this for me. You know, my personal vision, my personal goal, when I started out trying to get involved in the community, was to nation build and to restore, you know, the issues in our community. Mm-hmm. And you know, part of that is you know, building a legacy with your children and their children, your great grandchildren, and so on and so on. And you know, I had to ask my question, you know, do I want to build that with others that look like me, or do I want to dilute that and my lineage becomes something else? You see what I'm saying? So my initial vision was that those that look like me should strive to procreate with someone that look like me if we want to pass down the wealth and the generational success to ascendants that look like me. So my heart is for, you know, our women and men to find common ground and build that vision, you know. So I'm in a you know what they say about me anyway. They already say I'm already out. They say my wife ain't black. So I guess I'm 1 foot in and one foot out.
You know, the strongest players
black anyway. So
because you like skin.
So if they ask me the question, should black men abandon black women? They already got the answer from me. He already did.
But should black women,
players,
according to their perception, you know what I'm saying? So I got 2 fingers towards that.
But the
you know, strongest players in this game are practicing culture first, right?
Nah. But all jokes aside, you know, I'm happy to see Vaughn with a woman that looks like him and that can pass down his what he's building on to the next to some children that looks like him. And I would hope that we could continue that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. If you take a look at this landscape, man, it seems like the strongest players in this game are practicing a culture first type of ethic. You know what I mean? And you correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm not talking about exceptions to the rule. I'm talking about just when you look at who's doing what, the biggest movers and shakers are moving as a collective culturally. When you go to Chinatown and you don't see no black mom and pop stores in Chinatown. You know what I mean? Or Koreatown, or anywhere. As a matter of fact, you don't even see
it in your own community.
That's what I was going to say. You don't even see that in our own community,
Right.
And so one of the things that one of the most painful things about what it means to be black and American, or just black on this planet, is the discomfort that comes from that, or that comes along with that. And part of what we look to do, what a lot of people look to do as a coping mechanism, is to see how far away they can get from blackness. And one of the mechanisms that they use is diluting, like Kwesi said. So people will say, well, I want my kids to have it easier than I had it, so I'm gonna produce maybe some lighter skinned children, or maybe that'll make me look less threatening if I marry a white girl as a black man. You know, there are all kind of coping mechanisms, but one of the primary pains on this planet is the existence of a black person. And so many of us are looking to run as far away from that as we can get. And I ain't running.
I'd like to chime in on that, if you don't mind. And
Go ahead, brother.
Akachi said it. He said our culture sucks, right?
Yep.
So the reason why a lot of times it's not necessarily the race of person, it is the culture of that. The black culture is just a shitty culture. Yep. And unfortunately, we feel because of complexion, it's an automatic subscribe. Some people are not leaving it because they feel they need a lighter skinned baby. You know what I'm saying? You know, men are attracted to women of all races, just like women are attracted to men of all races. One, they may prefer better than the others, but ultimately a man is always attracted to a woman, a good-looking Asian woman, a good-looking Indian woman, good-looking Latina, good-looking Arabian, Persian woman. It's all the same. We don't find that they're ugly. You know, we find that they're beautiful. Sometimes more beautiful than some of the sisters we have, especially nowadays, right? With all this weave and lashes and nastiness, whatever. So my point is that the black culture is a toxic culture that most black women subscribe to. And when you have black men that's trying to exit the culture, because who wants to be broke? Who wants to be broke? Who wants to be victimized? Who wants to not have control of their destiny or their fate, right? You look at Dave Chappelle. His wife is Asian. He just went through a battle of them trying to bring the projects basically to his small town that he has that has like a farm style house and a whole lot of land that has been peaceful for him. And he said, no, don't bring that niggatry shit over here, because you bring that low income, everything is going to happen bad. Look at every project. Ain't no, this is a nice project. Every project has the same thing. They're all led by single mothers. They all have a toxic culture. There's no structure. There's none of that. So when we see men doing it, they're not trying to run because, oh, I want my kid to have lighter skin. Yeah, you might have a few men like that, just like you got women who do it. How many of these women are bleaching their skin to look lighter, or putting the MAC makeup to look lighter, looking more, trans than anything? So the thing is, they're trying to escape the culture because the culture will not allow them to be great. The black culture would not allow you to be great.
Can I piggyback on that?
Go ahead, brother. Yep.
Because here's the thing. And I want to get back to the initial talk. I don't think that's true since it's fly, but I want to get to the initial topic. Should women divest? I believe they should. As far as to piggyback off what Pete was saying, here's the thing. Black culture is for women, gays, and felons. If you're not that, if you read above a 6th grade level, they say you're acting white. There is nothing productive that you can do as a black person and say, you know what, if I bounce a basketball, they'll protect me from 10 years old because they got hoop dreams for me. But if I create an app, I gotta wait for a white person to cuff me and take me to a college to help me explore my intellectual property. It's a cultural minstrel. Here's where you guys get it confused. You guys are mixing 4 or 5 things together, right? You're mixing color with race, with ethnic group, with nationality, with culture, and you're calling all 5 black. However, if I said, because here's how crazy y'all are about color. If you can get a Senegalese a Nigerian, somebody from the wherever, and she'll be dark skinned, but she won't have the same culture. And then they'll still say you sold out because you couldn't handle a strong American woman. They just is functional ass chicks, bro. I believe that they should divest because I believe that they should go and be the person that they cosplay as when they do their little IG filters. Everybody has an opportunity and an inalienable right to be happy, to go where they're needed, not and appreciate it and celebrate it, not just tolerate it. Right?
I want to piggyback what you just said. Oh,
go ahead.
I agree with black women. I said this a while back. Black women should abandon black men, and here's why. For whatever reason, they don't seem to maintain structure. Right? Black women on the majority level
don't maintain structure.
Black women. They don't.
That's the woman's job now. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm saying they don't want structure. They want to be in control. So when they get with black men, right? When they get with black men, they don't expect the black men to be in control. They give them the hardest time. This is why they pick the felons and the lowlights, because they have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Look his cousin, for example. His cousin went to school to become a doctor, his niece became a doctor, complained that no black men were in that room. All she wanted was a guy that made money and drove a nice car. You know what I'm saying? So now she meets a black man who may not have been in that room, but he's in another room and probably make more than a doctor, because most doctors make $500,000 a year, and most doctors have $340,000 in student loan debt. Trust me. Look, we loan officers, we've seen the paperwork, right? Oh,
Sure, dude.
So my point that I'm making is, she got with a man who could afford anything, and because she was more concerned of a man telling her what to do, she did not want to accept his gifts. I felt like that was a way of telling her something. And my point is that they don't want to listen to their own men to get structure.
That's a better point.
Right. But I was using that as an example.
But this is how serious it is. My name's Oak. You know what type of people are named after trees? White women. So when I don't have a profile picture up and I say something, black women say, "You go ahead, you strong black Nubian queen. You so wise, you so smart." If I put my photo up, they be like, "Oh my God, you're a misogynist, you must hate women." It's the same information. All you did was saw the face. I got my homegirl Jenny will paste my shit, and she'll be the strong black Nubian queen. They know right from wrong. They choose to do wrong because they don't respect their men. That's why they need to divest and find men they can respect. Because y'all can tell me about love all day. I don't really care. Y'all can tell me about black kids all day, but girls are dirt. I am the seed. Wherever I plant my seed, that's the fruit that will grow. If I plant oranges, I'll get an orange tree. If I plant apples, I'll get an apple tree. If I plant an acorn, I'll get an oak. And the whole thing is, no matter what it is, girls is dirt. Girls can take 15 nuts and have 15 different kids that look 15 ways different. She'll have an oak tree, an apple tree, a peach tree, and a bunch of weeds because she's the dirt. It don't matter what grew out of her. But what I am, I grow. So the girl don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? So she could be the dirt for whatever seed she want to be with. I have no problem with her divesting because I won't not fuck. She'll get a white dude and I'll still fuck because all they do is shit on their husbands anyway. I'll still fuck her. I'll catch her on the rebound. It don't matter to me.
I will say this. The question that was presented to me was, should black men leave black women?
That was. That's what I told you.
If you flip that question back and say, should black women leave black men? If black women leave black men, I don't know what happens to the 80+% of us who are left, because the other women of this planet, unless you bring in something heavy to the table, most women, like somebody left a comment earlier that when a black man talks to a non-black woman, she's typically at the bottom of the barrel, right? And so to that point, and there is some truth to that. That's not all.
You
right?
seen these fat, ugly bitches that's having babies? Niggas is fucking anything of every color. She
Let me finish
a different
my point,
color.
Let me finish my point. What I'm saying is this. if there is 80+% of us, well, the top 20% of us who marry out are typically so-called high value men, 100,000 and above, right? The overwhelming majority who marry out are 100,000 and above. So that means categorically, as far as the women who are willing to marry black men, they are typically looking for black men who hit a certain threshold as far as income goes, right? And so the rest of us, though, and I'm not saying that there's not exceptions, because I know that there are exceptions, but the overwhelming majority, that bottom 80% of those, the overwhelming majority of that bottom 80%, it's not even available to you for the most part to even marry out, because most of those non-black women don't have a story that's good enough and soothing enough to their families for them to justify bringing you home.
Okay, here's the problem I have. Number one, you give a fuck about what a bitch thinks. That's first off. Who cares what the Tyler thinks?
She care what her daddy thinks.
No.
If her daddy's there.
So you telling me
you talking about non-black
no.
women,
So
right?
you telling me that the Caucasian Tyler.
Talking about non-black women,
wait.
right?
You telling me that the Caucasian and the Mexican Tyler care about what their daddy thinks, but the colored Tylers don't. So what you're
I'm
telling
talking
me?
about the women that you saying we supposed to marry out to.
No. I ain't say maybe. I say they should divest. But what I'm saying is, you're saying that if black women divest, there won't be enough black women for 80% of black men. So
that's not what it said. No, it's not what I said.
So what are you saying?
Can I
No. I want him to clarify.
I got what he said. He's basically.
Let me repeat. I'll say it myself. I don't need an interpreter. What I'm saying is this: if, let's just say hypothetically, you Thanos snap and all black women have divested, and the only women that are available are those who are willing to rock with black men, right?
Okay. Here's the problem with that. Number one, all black women can't divest. Number two, even if you judge men on merit and women on beauty, most of these black chicks is ugly as shits. Here's the funny thing: when you see black women that can divest, they got afros. So even white men want natural black women, but black women won't be natural for black men. They'll be like, I'm doing it for me. So they disrespectful all the way across the board. So since they can't even get that out their head, they can't even get the white boy that want a black woman because she pretending to be a white girl. But I digress. So most black girls can't even get a white guy, so there'll still be enough to be single mothers. Secondly, the ones who can divest, it don't matter if she shrinks the dating pool for black men, because most of these niggas ain't fucking no way. Me and my guys is fucking, and we'll always fuck, because we've been fucking since candy at the shopping mall, because we know how to hunt. Most dudes don't know how to hunt because they was raised by the same single mothers that won't let their daughters fuck them. Single mothers like, this is the type of guy at 36. This is the type of guy I want my 10-year-old son husband to be, and he is that. But nobody wants that except mama. So she's
Can I add something to what Oak said? Hold on. Can I add something to Oak said? Here's the thing. Some of those men don't get the woman they want in the black community. So let's take what's his name? Childish Gambino. Right? It was a big thing saying, black girls didn't want to date him because he was a nerd. But white women loved him. So a lot of times we think, okay, I say if black women divest away from black men, we feel like black men won't attract other women. The problem is I think some black men who can't get black girls has nothing to do with other than they're loyal. They keep trying to get the girls that don't want them. So Childish Gambino was like, what the hell with it? Why am I trying to chase these black chicks that don't want me when I could go over here and get me a nice looking, all kind of other racial choices and let me win on that? It didn't take them to get successful to have it. There are women that appreciate that. The thing is like Oak said, it's the culture. And if you read past the 6th grade level, most black chicks don't want you. You know what I'm saying? They want the thug, they want the swag. So yeah, we could put on a swag show that attract certain levels of women. We could also put on the suit and tie, whatever, and attract another level of women, right? Some men, they just can't. But in the eyes of other races, they are handsome and they're the shit because their criteria for men are different. Black women criteria for men is horrible. But if
Just
you
like
take a white woman,
wait. Let me address.
Come on, man. That's some bullshit. Because what you're doing is you're comparing the bottom of the barrel of black women to the best of the best of black men.
No, he
but if you
wasn't.
take,
Childish
hold on, let me
Gambino-
finish.
Childish-
Hold on, guys.
Childish Gambino was not
black
the best
women
of the
that
best.
so
Can I
much
finish what I'm saying?
But he
Can I
wasn't
finish
the
what
best
Yeah.
of the best.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Yes, but
All I want to do
you're
is
being
finish what the fuck I'm
disingenuous.
saying.
And who the fuck
All I
says
wanna do
they're
is
black?
finish what I'm
Nigga,
saying.
I wrote a book on how to have one night
All
stands.
I want to
Nigga,
do
are
is
you
finish
serious?
what I'm saying, bro. That's all. I just want to finish what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you look categorically across the board and you take the average, or I'm gonna say below average black man, and make this conversation apples to apples, you take our below average men with our below average women, you're gonna see some bullshit ass behavior from both of them. Because if you look, I mean, I'm not here to drag either one of us. I ain't trying to drag black men or black women, but I'm saying bullshit is bullshit. And black women are dying at a rate of every 6 hours a black woman is being killed, right? So we're not offering them the best of what we got either. So, I mean, let's stop the cap,
Well,
bro.
they need to
Well,
learn how to
they're
be
being
quiet.
killed because they're in the middle of shit. They don't need to be.
Now
They
you
love
wanna
chaos.
talk-
They need to be
Nah,
quiet.
look,
They
now
gotta
they
learn how to
look.
watch
They
their
love
manners.
chaos. They love chaos, and they like being in
Right.
situations
That's
where
what
they
happens
can
when
be.
you date a felon. But check this out. First
Right.
of all, let me say this. Childish Gambino was
That's it.
penniless when he got this white girl. He became successful. He was a struggling comedian. The dude who ended up being James St. Patrick on Power, when he got his white girl, he was a struggling actor taking bit parts. Nobody even knew his name. They stuck with their men because they saw the potential and they rolled with it. What I am saying is that that's the same analogy I used in college. That every other, and it's not even about white girls. It's not white versus black. This is every other race except black women see the potential in somebody and ride it out. While black women want the finished product, which is fine. So they'll take you if you have nothing, so they can control you, or they'll take you if you have everything, so you can entertain them. Now, in your particular situation, and I don't give you credos for dating for marrying a black woman, Vaughn. What I give you credos for is meeting your wife in high school. I think that high school sweethearts, that's a beautiful thing. I don't even know who said fifth last. Anyway, look.
Well, thank you, O.
I think it's
Hey, who was
value.
this? Who was this saying Oak don't got no damn hoes?
Hey, look, I do
Subscribe to
think
the
it's
channel.
value I think there is value in meeting your woman early, because by the time they get into their late 20s and 30s, they got so many wounds from the game on them. And even our men, I mean, you got a lot of brothers out here that's hurting like hell too, and we have a lot of trouble being purposeful as it pertains to relationships, right? As it pertains to finding a wife. When you look at every other demographic of men, as they make $100,000 and more, their marriage rates go up. When you look at us, when we make 100,000 and more, reportedly our marriage rates go down. And so I think there's something to be said about just the fact that other people have stronger community and cultural values than we do, and so we tend to linger in that perpetual land of wanting to play a little bit longer than other men do.
I
And then
don't
when we
think
talk
that's true.
about
They answer this question. How come every single woman you talk to can talk about the 2 marriage proposals she turned down in her 20s? If men were really perpetually trying to play, so is it men playing or is it women that decide that they
we
don't
all
want to
playing,
have
we all playing, but men control access to marriage, right? Ain't that what y'all say?
No, because if I ask you, you tell me no, then there's no marriage. How does every woman have a "I wasn't ready, I turned down a proposal" story if men weren't trying to commit?
Yep.
I think there are.
That was
All
that.
of
That
them?
was that 2 or 3.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. There's a lot of brothers who do want to be serious, but at the same time, I think again we have some very weak cultural values, man.
But let me
And
add it.
and that's not just, hold on, bro. Let me finish. That's not just affecting the women. That's affecting the men too. You can't just say that we got this shitty ass culture and the only ones that's fucked up by it is the women. Come on, man. That's
No,
nonsense.
I'm not saying that.
Look,
I got a
can
question.
Can
I got a
can
question.
This one.
Hold on. I got a question.
Mhm.
This goes to Oak and Peter. Do you not? What do you think about this? Is there some type of accountability that men have to face? You see what I'm saying? Is there anything on our end that we fucked up at? I'm gonna pass it on to y'all.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say the thing we fucked up on is that we empowered our women instead of empowering ourselves.
You didn't empower your women. Your enemy
All
empowered
right,
your women.
can I finish, right? right, brother? So when when soon as civil rights kind of ended and men had the right to not be affected or whatever by whatever the civil rights movement was for, right? The first thing they went to was feminism, empowering their women, right? Black queen this, black queen that. They did not begin to build anything.
Who's they?
That's where I felt that black men was affected. When you even look at the drug game, right? In the early 70s, late 60s, you know what I'm saying? Black men were making a lot of money selling dope. And all their focus was on women,
That's
right?
the finish, bro.
Either way, the amount of money they were bringing in was hundreds of millions of dollars. And their concern was more towards showing off to get more women opposed to building infrastructures. Men started listening to their women, started doing what the women wanted to do instead of Martin Luther King said when after he completed civil rights, he said he felt like he threw his people from the frying pan into the fryer or something like that. And what he was saying was the first thing black folks did was all the boycotting they did, they ran to those same people. Instead of saying we have our neighborhoods that have dilapidated buildings, now that we can get loans from the bank, now that we can borrow money because there's no discrimination, why don't we build in our own community? And instead of focusing on that, they didn't. They ran and they were chasing pussy. They were pushing the feminist movement themselves, right? When the women were saying what they were saying, black men got on that, just like you're saying. You're saying black men should get married, sooner. He hasn't even figured out his personal purpose yet. And the first thing you want him to do is to take on a wife, a responsibility of another person, yet he has not even found the way to be responsible for himself. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm not an advocate. I get finding love and getting true love of your high school sweetheart, but that man, that boy does not know anything. He hasn't figured out what he really wants to do in life. So all he now has is I went from my mama and daddy taking care of me. Now I've got to take care of this person before I even earned my first dollar. I must marry her at 18, and yet I haven't even got a job yet. And now I got to figure out being a father, a wife, a husband, and possibly a father, yet I have nothing to go with. And I don't know what I want to do yet. So that's what you're putting the burden on. That's empowering her.
That's not what I'm saying.
And no, it is because you're telling him,
I'm telling you what I'm saying, and that's not what I'm saying.
But I'm telling you what I'm getting from it. At
okay,
the
I'm telling you getting it wrong.
And I'm gonna say this.
You're pretty articulate, bro. I can tell you what I'm saying. You're putting words in my mouth and you're putting the wrong words. Ask me what I'm saying. Don't tell me what the fuck I'm saying. Come on, man.
You haven't said that.
Boy, I didn't say get married at 18.
Glock getting ready, boy.
All right, so
that Glock getting ready.
Can I finish, right? So my point is this: the way we empower women, the first thing you tell black men, or the first thing that is told to black men, as soon as he get money, get it to the black woman. He owes her. He has to have loyalty. Yet she may have done nothing for that. And if he gets a white girl, oh, he's cooning or he's this, that, and the third. Yet the white girl helped him more than the black woman. And then we talk about first love in high school. Some dudes are very unattractive in high school, and they don't hit their peak until they're college and has asserted themselves because we know the look of a man is a lot of it in his confidence of who he is. And he may not have the confidence in high school, but he may gain it in college. He may have gained 20, 30 pounds of muscle weight. He may have spurted up 2-3 more inches, which made him go from 5'7", may have go to 5 feet something to 6'1", right? So now he's taller. He's now more attractive. So the dude that couldn't get any girls in high school is now getting all of them in college and after college. So my thing is that we empowered women. We ran to the woman. Can I finish, man? I respect everybody.
I kind of want to move it, but go ahead.
So my point is,
go ahead.
My point is that the first thing we are told is to empower black women. Work hard, get your crown, get your throne, and then give it to a black woman. That's it. And that's empower her. No one just tell black men, hey, ensure what you have and fulfill a seat.
I like that
which
comment.
can be anybody. And so that is where a black men are accountable, I say, is because instead of building, we're trying to give it what we don't really have to a black woman. The first thing
P.
that you do, you in the streets, oh, buy her a Birkin bag. Come on, man. Like,
That's silly.
P. P.
Can I?
right, but it's telling
P.
him to
I got a
go out there,
question.
risk his life, and give it to her, where she's done
I
nothing
got
to earn
I
it,
got I got
except,
a question, Peter.
you know. Go ahead.
You ain't really never had no hoes, have you?
Why? Come on, man! Don't put the man out like that. We don't. We
Nah, I
don't.
want to ask. I'm asking. Have you?
Man, you really got to see my catalog from high school to after high school. You know what I'm saying? Even in my overweight status, man.
Yeah, Peter, pretty boy now.
Right, yeah, like I don't understand.
Hey, hey,
You know what I'm saying?
hey! I just had to mess
But,
with
you
you.
know,
I just had to mess with you because
I got,
I wanted to play it. I wanted to play it.
but now I ain't got none, you know, because
I see. Hey, I seen Pete's pictures when he was a young man. Pete,
yeah, he
Pete,
saw
Pete,
it.
yeah, Pete was smooth back in his day. But look, let me address something where you asked the
I'm just
question where
messing
men
with
go
you,
wrong.
Pete, man. You know I love you, brother.
Look,
Love
you
you too, bro.
said where did men go wrong, right? Do we have any responsibility in this thing? And one of the things that he said first, which is the single most inaccurate thing that you said men empower women. Black men didn't empower black women. Your enemy kicked your ass, and then he empowered your woman. That's what that is. You didn't you ain't empowered nothing. We haven't empowered our women. And I can leave it right there. So when you talk about when you look at what happens in the context of war, right? Because all of this must be viewed in the context of war. Nothing that we're experiencing is outside of the context of you getting your ass kicked as the men of the culture, right? Men build culture. Let me finish.
Let me push back
Let me
on that.
finish.
Go ahead.
You can let me just rock for a minute. Men build culture. Now you can say whatever women's responsibility is after men build that culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some responsibility for sure, but men are the ones that establish the culture. And men are the ones that are primarily responsible for protecting what we build. If another man comes into your house and kicks your door down and you can't defend, so you get your ass kicked, how you gonna then turn around and blame your woman for not holding down your law when you got your ass kicked? Now stand down.
All right, so here's the thing.
Hold on, I agree.
No. Check this
We
out.
should have beat the shit out of women and kept them in the house and say, no, you
There
ain't
you
getting
go.
this shit.
All right,
You can't beat the man that beat your ass, so you turn and beat your woman's
I don't
ass.
know. I could beat up both of them. I'm
Yeah.
equal like you, but here's this is where I'm gonna go with this.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what happened. Now, I don't know about the enemy empowerment, but I will say that if that's the case, then black women were the enemies because as soon as before Martin Luther King body turned cold, Coretta Scott was yelling for feminism. Before Malcolm X body went cold, Betty Shabazz was doing parades for feminism. I remember in the 19. No, I'm just saying. No, you want to understand. But this is what I'm saying. I remember watching Good Times when James tried to get a job at the department store, and the people came to him and said, "Why don't you hire Florida because she's a double minority? We'll get paid more money." I understand that happened. But at the same time, I also understand this. Everything a woman knows is because a man taught her. I see men all the time trying to empower women, giving them opportunities that they would never give another man. I haven't seen a man give other men opportunities in mass since the 1990s when niggas was moving shit out the car wash. Now everybody's trying to get coochie coupon points by giving all the resources to a woman, hoping that they'll get some type of, I don't know, Scooby snack, and then she'll turn around and say, well, man, I'm good. Now, this is what black men should have done, because first of all, black men didn't build. That's the issue. Integration was, here, when integration started, integration was not black men rushing to move in white neighborhoods. Integration was black men married to black women, and black women was like, I want to move in white neighborhoods. You've never seen a motherfucking black dude live by himself and have the cross burning in his front yard. It was always a family. Why? Because this goofy bitch thought she was better than the Joneses. Now, the whole thing is, but black men didn't build. So, I totally agree that you should protect what you build. Black men didn't build. I totally agree that people should strategize for what they want. Black men keep including black women in their shit. Black women are builders. They're interior decorators. They think builders is uncomfortable because they don't like to hear no. black men have to take a large umbrance in what goes on because they fed the gremlin.
Yep.
I totally agree with that. They fed the gremlin. What our disagreement is, you don't believe they gremlins, but I'm agreeing with you. But they fed the gremlin. So, with that being said, I watch men empower women all the time. I have friends who will buy we cool. They'll buy me a beer at the bar. Like, yo, you want to come to the bar? Like, bro, money funny. I'll buy you a drink. Nigga, give me a beer. See a bitch at the bar, buy a bottle. It's for shorty. So you got $300 for a stranger at the bar, my nigga. You got $4 for your niggas that came with you that's gonna have to help you fight when we get in the parking lot.
Facts.
Dudes empower these
Yes.
goofy ass chicks all the time. You
Let
know
me
what
ask
I'm
y'all a
saying?
question. Let me ask you a question. Let me throw a question out.
Go ahead.
Now Oak and I just agreed on the culture, right? Men build culture, and I'm gonna piggyback off of that, and I'm gonna flip this question, right? Do you think that black men, because of the culture that we have established, because even though we haven't necessarily established the type of culture that we're looking for, we have established a culture in our community, right? So the question I'm asking is, do you think we as men have created the very women that we despise?
Yeah, because you got your daughter college plan says she won't need no man.
Facts.
That's the answer.
Here's, but
Okay.
I'll expound on it though. Here's how
Go
the
ahead.
culture works because matriarchy is slavery and blacks are matriarchy. Here's how the culture works in a way that no other culture works. Black men follow black women, who follow white women, who follow gay white men, who get paid by Jews to dress like black women, to tell black women to tell black men to stand down. Right? So since y'all believe in crayons, y'all don't see that men aren't achieving. You see blacks are achieving because you're still including the women because the women are getting shit. These goofy bitches will tell me to put my businesses in their name so I can get minority contracts. I'm like, bitch, look, whole minority, goofy. The problem is that if you want to build a community, you need broke women. You don't need these bitches to be able to afford 2 tacos. Because when men have money, men build communities. When women have money, she don't need no man. If you give a man a house, a girl will fuck you as long as, goddamn it, she can go pee with no clothes on at 3 in the morning. If you give a girl a house, she'll wake up at 2 in the morning and goddamn it accuse you of cheating and call the police and get you arrested.
Because she had a dream.
Because she had a fucking dream you was cheating. But bitch, I'm right here. That's how you woke me up. If black men, to really establish a culture that will work for black men, first of all, stop being black because that's just goofy. But besides that,
Y'all know what we mean when we say black.
If Tony or Swarty men want to build a culture, what they do is they build a culture somewhere else. Just guys, just the guys. And you know what's gonna happen? You'll get more women than you never imagine because they hate to see men do any fucking thing without them.
Yep.
So
And be happy.
So you look too happy. You take a bunch of pictures of dudes fishing, got them and going bowling. Bitches going, where these motherfuckers at? I gotta go fuck up their life. You'll have all type of chicks. You ain't gotta worry about it.
To add to go to the strip club. You see more women there than you see men. Before, I remember going to strip club. That was a man's play. That was for mostly married men. Hey, they wife giving them hell. They're going to the strip club. They're gonna have a beer. They're gonna see some booty shaking, and they happy. And that was a man's paradise.
Same
Now,
question.
I'm gonna bring up this comment.
Now you go. I see the woman's line longer than the man's line, and this was years ago, and it's gotten worse. So he's right. Like as soon as wherever men are enjoying shit for themselves, women want to be a part of, and that's just what it is.
I had that same question that I wanted to pose to you though, Pete, and I kind of wanted you to kind of articulate it in your own way. Do you think that we have created the women that we despise?
Have we created the women that we despise?
Have black men created the women? But look, and I'll add a little bit of context to it, right? We had pimp culture was very strong, right? Turning women into crack whores. That was strong.
That was on them. I don't think pimps turned them into.
Let them finish, bro.
I'm just giving you some facets that we contributed to how we contributed to the type of women that we see today, the type of women that a lot of us hate, right? So what I'm asking you is in some of the different ways that we've contributed to the negative behaviors that we see in women, like by upholding pimp culture. You know, we greet each other today, like, what's up, pimp? You know what I mean? Like, that's a term of endearment that we embrace each other with, right? Calling each other something that has wreaked tremendous havoc on the community. We greet each other with that as a term of endearment. So what I'm asking you is, in that context, with the type of contributions that the adversities that we've presented to the community, to the women, do you think that we've created the women that we now despise?
I don't think we created the women. I think we created the culture that allowed women to flourish in a way that we despise. Like, we talk about, as the pimp make whores. No, the pimp don't make whore. Whore's a whore. I know the same woman. Actually, I respect a honest working whore than I do a broad that just lay on the back. Go to the projects. How many of them? Look, me and Oak talk about it growing up. How many dudes ran trains on girls, like 20 trains, and girls around fucking the whole projects? And not only do that, you know, like what Jay-Z said, went to Tompkins projects, you know, but them dudes are just like us. They just went across the street and they went and did the same thing for like everybody in the projects, and actually got no money for it, and only ended up
right?
only no. It just comes from that woman or horse. Go through the Bible.
No, that's not what it comes from.
It doesn't come from a woman has a pussy like a man has a dick. That is a natural born instinct. And if she's in heat and she wants to fuck, she just want to fuck. We always want to give an excuse of why women want to do shit when that's just what women want to do. They will fuck anything and tell men they're going to fuck anything.
Hey, can we rewind a little bit?
I'm trying to answer the question, but you know.
Okay, my fault. I just, you know, I like to offer a little bit of pushback.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Yeah, you're right. My fault.
So we can't blame the pimp. The pimp is no different than we can't blame the crack. You know, blame the drug dealer, in a sense, right? People want to smoke crack, they're gonna want to smoke crack. You know what I'm saying? People want to fuck, they're gonna want to fuck. He just offered an option to say, hey, get paid for what you do. You know what I'm saying? My brother loves fixing cars. He's a mechanic with or without a pay. But, you know, he got a job, you know, fixing airline, you know, engines and shit like that. Now he gets paid for what he loves to do. Some women love to fuck and they get paid for it. I think we keep trying to blame men for what women do. You know what I'm saying? It's been Jezebels. It's been all of that. Some woman just was whoring, pimping. What they said, pussy's the oldest business in the game. Pimping or prostitution.
That part right there.
By women. By other women.
Whoever. But the point, though, is still that it is not a girl's aspiration. Typically, it is not a little girl's aspiration to be a whore. So when you find let me
P, are you saying that it's more women molesting little girls than men?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Think about it. Most women are in the company of women. A man has to be there for her to be molested, and most women won't allow.
You got stats? You got stats for that? You got stats for that?
I don't know if you got stats for who've been abused by men. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you a lot of women have been abused by other women.
Yeah, that's a
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. Little boys done been abused by women. But what I'm saying
exactly.
Is there stats showing that women commit more pedophilia crimes, or is it men?
All crimes. Hold on, let me take this one. All crimes are based on proximity. Women have all the access to kids, so just by proximity that would be true. But every girl that I know, we're not talking about. If we're not talking about rape, we're just talking about sexual deviancy. Most of them talking about some touched her pocketbook. You know what I'm saying? Most boys were turned out by an older girl. You know what I'm saying? I mean, catch a girl, freak a girl, house. They're like, if you turn a double dutch with me, we can play doctor. All those are initiated by girls. Show me yours, I'll show you mine. I saw little girls telling boys that in preschool. Yeah, girls are freaky as shit. I don't understand where y'all get this sugar and spice and everything nice thing. People are only as faithful as their quota of discipline, right? So whatever your penalty is, people just act under their sense of penalty. Whatever you can get away with, you'll do. There's no penalties for women, so they do what the fuck ever. Boys know. Girls can hit you and you tell boys don't hit them back. Girls can feel on you. You tell boys don't be touching on girl stuff. women have no. They like God, nigga. They for real. They like there's no nothing. They think you mean and you're massaging if you tell them no. Like, can I have this? No. Oh my God, you hate women. These chicks is unhinged. So you think they not touching little kids? And even when
And they lie. They lie. They say, okay, you got. Here's the thing. R. Kelly situation.
Hit them last two
Same-
comments.
the same 40-year-old woman complaining about R. Kelly's a pervert and this, that, and the third. With the same woman when they were 16, they were jumping in the cars with 26-year-old men who was driving the box Chevys. You know what I'm saying? So it was been going on. But they'll sit here and at 40, now they got daughters and children. They'll tell you R. Kelly is this. But when they were 16 years old, you know, they wanted to be with LL because what, Tina had a big old butt. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to jump in the Jeeps. They wanted to jump in the whatever. So, and they're 16 and they'll tell you, oh, that grown man touched me. No, you're 16. You know what the fuck you was doing and what you wanted.
Facts.
You wanted to be with that 23-year-old, that 26-year-old, that 30-year-old drug dealer.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because he had a nice whip. Ain't bought you bamboo earrings. How many?
2 pair.
There you go.
So I got a question for you, Pete. If you had a 16-year-old daughter and she brought home a 36-year-old man and she was interested in kicking it with him, how would you feel about it? You be okay with that? Because she know what she's doing?
Well, if I had a 16-year-old daughter, I would sell her at 16. So I wouldn't worry about it. I'm telling you, I would bring dowries back. She not going to college just so she can bust down with niggas like me in college. I'm gonna find a motherfucker like, yo, that's your new daddy now. I'm giving you away. That's where the whole tradition comes from. A father giving their daughter away. Mm-hmm. They found a man that can put him under the covenant.
Older man.
So here, I know, yo, this nigga cut like me. Here, hey, little nigga, don't better. All right, big homie, I know how you get down. I know you know how I get down. Make sure my daughter's straight. Here, you take that. Give me the money. All right, cool. You take the girl. All right, I'll see y'all at Thanksgiving.
Wait, you're not gonna tell her to take the ugly one?
Hey man, if I had more than one daughter, I didn't live my life right, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, take the ugly one. You know, our boy.
The same way, Pete.
Do I feel the same way?
Yeah, you sell your daughter 16 to a 36-year-old man. You good with that?
I mean, I'll say this: if she's proper, like, I'll say this. My first reaction when I hear the numbers is to be like, nah. But what Oak said, I understand the process where women go through from 16 to 25 to 30. You would look at it as that's bad, what he's saying. But then when she goes through all these men before she graduated out of high school, she's at risk of being a single mother from 16 to 30 at a very high risk. All is one nigga got a nut up in her, one nigga got to pull off the condom, or she don't even ask him to put on one. She's actually safer with that 30-year-old man who has stuff established. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And so the answer is yes.
I would say I would lean more towards yes.
What say you, Black?
You niggas some Arabs.
But these are functioning. But here's the thing: these are functioning cultures. See, the thing is a lot of times, we don't want to. A lot of fathers don't want to let go of their daughters, right?
Gas on wholesale. I'm with you, Black. I'm with you, Black. Gas on
like,
wholesale.
Right? Arab money. Yo, you need to
money, baby.
Yo, play the
I ain't talking about another Arab. I'm talking about
you ain't play the Arab. The Arab background music.
I'm talking about this cat down the street named Robert.
Yo, we need a new. Hold on, bro. We need a new tech man. He was supposed to drop what he said. Y'all Arabs. He was supposed to drop Arab beat.
Yeah.
Nigga, y'all
I was trying to rewind so we can read some of these comments and
get that one right above that one. Get that one right above that one because I think that's important, man.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Like no marriage, not in this current culture, but if there was a culture in place to support the marriage, then I'd let my daughter marry that old man. And I think so. I asked that question on purpose because one, I know that's what it used to be, right? Mm-hmm. But in this current climate. And that's why I didn't add any context to it. I just asked you today, real time, would you let your daughter date a 36-year-old cat down the block? Or, whatever.
You can say down the block.
You said down the block, you just said 30-year-old man.
36-year-old guy.
And we gave you criteria on what we do. If we feel that the man is a solid dude, has his own shit, and he could take care of our daughter, It's no different than us doing it like it was back in the days. You never said, "Oh, 30-year-old dude that's still, he still haven't moved anything past the 8 ball." You know what I'm saying?
Well,
He started hustling at 16, and he's still on 2 ounces of weed tops. Yeah, no, we're not giving that.